Oh, wow. Divine feminine. The moment I tapped into this energy, I felt it. That deep, familiar pull that words can't quite explain. It's that kind of connection where your soul reacts before your mind can even make sense of it. You know that feeling when someone's presence doesn't just touch you emotionally, but it echoes through your body? That's what this is. Your person didn't just notice you, their entire being remembered you. The first time they saw you, something ancient inside of them woke up. And ever since that moment, you've been living rent-free in their energy, not because they chose it, but because destiny did. They can't shake it. They can't silence it. It's not just attraction, it's recognition. It's as if their spirit took one look at you and whispered, "There you are." And that's why this connection feels so intense, so magnetic, so impossible to ignore. Because this isn't new. This is a reunion. So if you've been feeling their energy heavy around you lately, the thoughts, the pull, the dreams, it's not in your head. Their soul is remembering yours, and trust me, they're feeling it in every possible way. Hello, soul family. Welcome to Spiritual Manifestation. If this is your first time, welcome. If not, I'm glad to have you home. I just want to take a moment to say how grateful I am that you're here, because the energy that's already coming through feels powerful, and I can tell this message is meant for someone who truly needs it today. Before we dive in, a quick reminder. If you feel called to go deeper, the extended readings and extra guidance are always available on Patreon and through YouTube memberships. That's where we get into the longer, more personal layers of these messages, and it's a beautiful space to connect on a deeper level. And while you're here, don't forget to support the channel by liking this video, leaving a comment below, and sharing this reading with someone who may need to hear it. Your energy in this community makes such a difference, and I love reading your thoughts and reflections. Now let's go ahead and shuffle the deck together. Spirit, we ask you to guide us in this moment, to bring through the clearest and most aligned messages for those listening. As I set the energy for this reading, I can already feel the cards beginning to stir, and I know something important is ready to come through. I just pulled the Moon, Divine Feminine. The moon appears when something has been hidden beneath the surface, emotions, truths, or intentions that were never meant to stay buried forever. Spirit is saying there's a masculine energy around you who knows so much more than they've been letting on. From the very beginning, they saw something in you, something that both scared them and drew them in all at once. This person has been studying you quietly, watching how you respond, how you love, how you speak, how your energy shifts. And they've built this quiet confidence from that. They feel like they know you, maybe even better than you realize, and that knowing has made them hold something back. What's wild is that this secret isn't random, it's personal. This masculine feels like they're protecting you, or maybe protecting themselves, by keeping this truth hidden. It's almost as if they decided when and how this information should come out, believing that they're somehow managing the connection by doing so. Spirit says this has created a strange kind of balance, one where you've been matching their energy without even knowing they've been guiding it all along. Every silence, every slow response, every tender moment has been intentional on their part, and that's why you might feel that tug in your intuition that something hasn't been fully revealed. But here's what Spirit wants you to know. This truth is heavy for them. They've been carrying it for a long time, maybe since the very start of your connection, and it's becoming harder and harder to contain. They know that once it's spoken, everything changes. The energy between you, the way you see them, the way this connection moves forward. And that's exactly why they've hesitated. They're afraid that once you know what they know, there's no going back to what this was. Spirit is showing that this masculine has been torn between two energies, fear and desire. On one hand, they feel this deep need to come clean, to tell you everything they've been holding back because their heart can't carry it anymore. But on the other hand, they fear losing the peace, the rhythm, the connection that's still intact between you. They know that once their truth is spoken, the dynamic shifts forever. This is someone who doesn't just want to be seen, they want to be understood. But the irony is, they already feel like you see right through them. And that's what makes this even harder. You reflect back to them the parts of themselves they've been avoiding, and that kind of mirror can be both healing and terrifying. Spirit is also saying that this truth they've been carrying isn't meant to harm you. It's meant to awaken you. There's something they know about your connection that you may have felt intuitively but couldn't quite put into words. And when it finally comes out, it'll connect so many dots. Why things happened the way they did, why certain emotions ran so deep, why they seemed to pull close and disappear at the same time. The moon reveals what's been confusing, what's been foggy, and turns it into clarity. So even though this revelation might shake things at first, Spirit says it will ultimately bring peace, not chaos. For some of you, this truth may even tie back to something spiritual, something about how this connection began, or what they've known about you since the start. This masculine could have recognized you as their divine counterpart long before you realized it yourself. They may have seen signs, dreams, or synchronicities that confirmed it, but they weren't ready to face what that meant. It's like Spirit handed them the truth too early, before their soul was strong enough to carry it. And now, they're finally reaching a point where silence feels heavier than honesty. You may also notice that your intuition has been louder lately. You're dreaming more vividly, feeling their emotions unexpectedly, or even sensing their thoughts. That's because the veil is thinning between you and this person. The moon connects to intuition, psychic awareness, and emotional truth, and Spirit is saying your soul already knows what's coming. You felt it in your body, in your dreams, in those moments of stillness when their name echoes through your spirit for no reason. Your higher self has been preparing you for this revelation for a while now, and you're stronger than you realize. Spirit's last message with the moon is simple but powerful. Trust what you feel, not what you're told. When this truth comes out, it might be emotional, even overwhelming at first. But Spirit says it's not meant to hurt you. It's meant to confirm what your soul has known all along. This is illumination. This is clarity. This is freedom. So take a deep breath, divine feminine. What's coming isn't to break you. It's to bring everything hidden into the light so that you can finally move forward with truth, alignment, and peace. Still, the moon is a card of revelation. What's hidden will come to light, not to destroy, but to free you both. Spirit says that if you've been calling for truth, it's already making its way toward you. Trust your intuition right now. Your energy is reading everything before it even happens. Because deep down, you already sense that this masculine has been holding something big. And soon, that silence is going to break. And when it does, everything will finally make sense. The next card I just pulled is the Hanged Man for this message. This is the plot twist you never saw coming. The Hanged Man appears when everything you thought you knew gets turned upside down, not to confuse you, but to give you a completely new perspective. Spirit is saying that the masculine connected to you isn't who they appear to be on the surface. There's another layer, another side, one that's deeply intuitive, spiritual, and far more aware than they've ever let on. They've been hiding the most powerful part of themselves, not out of deceit, but out of protection. They didn't think you were ready to see this version of them, the one that senses energy, reads people, and quietly discerns truth without needing words. You've been dealing with someone who's been playing it cool, but the truth is, they're far more awake than you realize. Spirit is saying this masculine has been watching you, but not in the way you might think. They've been studying your energy, the tone of your voice, your body language, the way your mood shifts when you speak about certain things. It's like they've been quietly decoding you, and they already see the patterns that even you might have missed. This person isn't guessing, they know. Their intuition is their hidden superpower, and they've used it to navigate this connection from the very beginning. That's why you've probably felt like they always seem one step ahead, as if they already know what you're thinking before you even say it. The Hanged Man's message is that you're about to see this person from a completely different angle, and it's going to change everything. You thought you were the only one tuned in, the only one spiritually aware, the only one feeling things at a deeper level. But Spirit says this masculine is just as tapped in. They've just been quiet about it. They're not the type to talk about signs, dreams, or synchronicities out loud, but they experience them constantly. They've kept this part of themselves hidden because they've learned that not everyone can handle it. And honestly, they weren't sure if you could. But the energy is shifting now, and Spirit says they can't hold this side of themselves back much longer. This revelation is going to balance the scales between you. The Hanged Man teaches surrender, the moment when illusions fall away and what's real becomes undeniable. Spirit says this person's truth will make you see your connection in a new light, one that's not about control or mystery, but divine awareness. They're not just drawn to you, they recognize you. They've known since the beginning that this connection is different, and they've been trying to understand how to handle something so spiritual in a world that doesn't always honor it. That's why this moment feels like a plot twist, because when you finally see who they really are, you'll realize they've been walking this path beside you all along, just in silence. Spirit is saying this shift will happen naturally, not through force or confrontation, but through divine timing. You might start noticing small things, how their words suddenly align with your thoughts, how their actions mirror your energy, or how they seem to know what you're feeling without you saying a word. It'll be subtle at first, but undeniable once you see it. The Hanged Man reminds us that revelation often comes through surrender, through stillness, through observation, through seeing things from a higher perspective. Spirit says when you stop trying to figure this out and simply feel it, the truth will reveal itself effortlessly. There's also something deeply healing about what's coming to light. This masculine's hidden side, their intuitive, spiritual self, is not something to fear, but something that brings balance to your connection. Spirit says they were never trying to play a game with you. They were trying to protect what felt sacred. They've been moving carefully because they know this connection is rare, and they didn't want to risk it by showing too much too soon. But now, they're reaching a place where authenticity feels safer than silence. They're ready to show you the truth, not just about who they are, but about how deeply they've been connected to you all along. Spirit also wants you to know that this awakening isn't just theirs, it's yours too. The hanged man often appears when both souls are being prepared for a new level of understanding. This moment of revelation is meant to align you both, to take your connection from confusion to clarity, from separation to soul-level awareness. So if things suddenly feel like they're shifting, trust that it's part of the plan. You're being guided into a higher truth, one where nothing is hidden, and everything finally makes sense. So get ready, Divine Feminine, because the Hanged Man says your entire perspective is about to shift. You're going to see this masculine, and maybe even yourself, in a completely new way. The mystery is not confusion, it's revelation. And soon, the person you thought you knew is going to surprise you with just how deep, intuitive, and spiritually connected they truly are. Now I just pulled the High Priestess and Divine Feminine. Spirit is saying this one goes deep. The High Priestess shows up when two souls are trying to read each other. When the connection is so intuitive, so spiritually charged, that words barely scratch the surface. Spirit is saying that this masculine sees right through you. You may think you're being mysterious, guarded, or selective with what you share, but to them, your silence speaks louder than anything you could ever say. They read between every word, every pause, every look, and it's not guesswork. They just know. This person has a spiritual sensitivity that they rarely show, and it's what allows them to understand you at a level that others simply can't. You might think you're hiding your emotions well, but to them, it's like reading an open book written in energy. This is where the plot twist begins, because you're not the only intuitive one in this connection. Spirit says this masculine has been playing along, pretending not to notice the layers you keep hidden, only to give you space to feel safe. They've seen through your walls from the start, but they chose patience over pressure. The High Priestess energy they're carrying has made them observant, calm, and incredibly self-aware. They sense when you're holding back, they feel when you're triggered, and they know when something's on your heart before you even bring it up. It's not about control, it's about understanding. They recognize your guarded nature not as rejection, but as protection, and that's exactly why they're still here. Spirit is saying this dynamic is divinely guided. The High Priestess represents mystery and revelation, meaning your connection is built on both. You both hide, you both feel deeply, and you both sense that something more is happening beneath the surface. The difference is, this masculine doesn't see your mystery as distance. They see it as depth. They don't want to expose you. They want to meet you where you truly are. That's why they've been so cautious with what they reveal about themselves. They know once their truth is out, once you see how spiritually aware they really are, everything between you will shift. And honestly, that's what they've been preparing for. But Spirit says, here's the real reason they know the real you. Your energy never lies. No matter how composed you appear, your vibration gives everything away. The high priestess energy within them can read the subtle changes in your aura, the emotion behind your words, and the truth in your silence. They know when your heart softens. They know when your guard goes up. And it's this sensitivity that makes this connection feel both beautiful and intense. Because even when you're quiet, they hear you. Even when you pull back, they feel you. This connection isn't built on guessing. It's built on energetic truth. So Spirit says, Divine Feminine, prepare for the veil to lift. The High Priestess doesn't reveal everything at once, but when she does, it changes everything. You're about to see a side of this masculine you never expected, the intuitive, spiritually aware version of them that matches your own depth. And when that truth comes out, you'll understand that you were never truly hidden. You were just being seen by someone who could already feel your soul. Before we pull the next card, I just want to pause for a moment and check in with you. How has this been resonating with you so far? If something in these first 3 cards has already spoken to your heart, let me know in the comments. I love reading how these messages meet you right where you are. All right, let's go ahead and see what Spirit has for us as we pull the next card. I just pulled the Lovers. This is pure heart energy. The Lovers appears when 2 souls recognize each other long before the mind can catch up. And that's exactly what's happening here. Spirit is saying this masculine knew before you did. The moment they met you, something inside of them clicked. A pull they couldn't explain, a calm that didn't make sense, a knowing that ran deeper than logic. They didn't need time, conversation, or confirmation. They just knew. And what's funny is that while you've been quietly analyzing, trying to understand your feelings and protect your heart, they've been over here smiling to themselves, thinking, she has no idea I figured it out first. There's a light-hearted, almost teasing energy here, because while you've been trying to appear composed, they've been watching you the entire time, seeing through the layers, fully aware that you feel this too. Spirit is saying that this masculine doesn't see you as mysterious. They see you as adorable. Every time you try to play it cool, they notice the little ways your energy gives you away. The way your tone softens when you speak to them. The look in your eyes when they walk into the room. The slight pause before you answer a message. All of it tells them exactly what they need to know. The Lover's energy is mutual, undeniable, and sacred. And this masculine has known from the beginning that this connection was something extraordinary. That's why they've been so patient, giving you time to realize what they've already known. Spirit also says that this connection is built on energetic truth, not words. You might not have confessed your feelings out loud, but your energy has already spoken. This masculine doesn't need validation because they can feel the alignment every time you interact. They're not confused, they're amused. The Lover's card carries this playful but deeply spiritual tone, where 2 people mirror each other perfectly, even in silence. They knew from the start that they were dealing with someone rare, someone who carried both power and softness. and that realization has shaped how they've approached you ever since. What's so beautiful about this energy is that it's not rushed. The lovers remind us that divine unions unfold in perfect timing. This masculine isn't holding back out of fear. They're waiting for the right moment. They want the connection to grow in truth, not in tension. And they've been watching closely, learning your patterns, studying your emotions, and preparing for the moment when you finally see what they've seen all along. Spirit says, when that moment comes, it'll feel effortless, because deep down, your soul's already agreed to this. Spirit says that this connection was never meant to be complicated. It's meant to feel right. Even when you try to talk yourself out of it, something always pulls you back. That's the divine thread of the lovers at work. This masculine felt that pull instantly, and it shook them in a way they couldn't explain. They didn't fall in love with your looks or your voice first. They fell for your energy, your soul, your light. And even when they tried to push it away or pretend it wasn't that deep, Spirit says it only grew stronger. They've had to learn to surrender to what they feel, because no matter how hard they tried to stay detached, this connection kept calling them back home to you. You might think they're distant or quiet at times, but Spirit says that's just their way of grounding themselves. They're not ignoring you. They're processing what this connection truly means. The Lover's card isn't just about romance. It's about alignment, choice, and soul recognition. This masculine is realizing that what they feel for you isn't just love, it's destiny. They've been shown signs, dreams, and synchronicities, confirming this connection over and over again, and now it's becoming impossible for them to deny. Spirit says they've been preparing for this revelation, and the timing of their confession will be divine. It will come when both of you are ready to step into truth, not fear. There's also something incredibly grounding about how this love unfolds. It's not chaotic. It's not forced. It's the kind of love that teaches patience, the kind that builds quietly but feels eternal. Spirit says this masculine has been protecting the connection just as much as you've been protecting your heart. They see your walls, but instead of being intimidated, they find comfort in them because they know they're there for a reason. That's what makes this love so sacred. It's not built on chasing or proving. It's built on understanding and divine timing. And Spirit wants you to know this. The reason they knew before you is because their soul recognized yours first. Sometimes one heart wakes up before the other, but that doesn't mean they're not meant to meet halfway. This masculine's knowing wasn't meant to intimidate you. It was meant to guide you, to hold space for you to arrive in your own time, in your own way. They've been loving you from a distance, waiting for you to catch up to the frequency that your souls have already been dancing in since the very beginning. So, Divine Feminine, if you've been wondering why they act so sure, so calm, so unshaken, this is why. The lovers reveal what's been true all along. They knew before you did. They recognized you instantly, not from your face or your words, but from your energy. And while you've been guarding your heart, they've been quietly holding space, waiting for you to catch up to the love that's already been written between you. Moving forward, I just pulled the Star card. The star shows up when destiny is already written, when the signs, dreams, and synchronicities align so clearly that you can't ignore them anymore. Spirit is saying this masculine didn't just find you by chance. They were guided straight to you. Long before you met, they were seeing clues, hearing songs, catching numbers, or even dreaming about someone who carried your exact energy. At first, it didn't make sense. They couldn't understand why your name, your essence, your frequency kept appearing in their awareness. But when they finally met you, when you spoke, when your energy entered their field, everything clicked. You were the answer to all those signs, the confirmation they'd been waiting for. Spirit is also showing that your voice holds a frequency they recognize. The star connects to divine communication, and that's exactly what's happening between you two. It wasn't just what you said, it was how you said it. The tone, the warmth, the honesty in your words reached something deep inside them that they didn't even know was waiting. Your conversations might have seemed simple, even casual, but to them, it was like listening to prophecy. Spirit says your words awakened them, reminded them, confirmed them. This masculine knew that when you spoke, they were hearing truth. And that's when every sign they'd been shown finally made sense. There's also something incredibly sacred about how you two communicate beyond words. Spirit is saying the connection between you isn't just verbal, it's energetic. You speak through glances, through silence, through presence. The star energy flows through your throat chakra, allowing every word, laugh, or sigh to carry healing and meaning. And the same goes for them. Even in quiet moments, even across distance, they can feel you, your thoughts, your emotions, your energy. It's like your souls have their own secret language, one that doesn't need to be spoken aloud to be understood. But what's truly beautiful is that this masculine listened. They didn't ignore the signs. They didn't brush off the synchronicities or the intuitive nudges. They trusted what they were being shown, and because of that, they found you. The star is a symbol of faith, faith in divine timing, in guidance, in connection. Spirit says this person's journey toward you was built on that faith. And now that they've met you, they see you as the living proof that their intuition was right all along. You are their answered prayer, their divine signal, their North Star. So, Divine Feminine, if you've been wondering how they knew, how they recognized you so quickly, this is why. Every dream, every sign, every moment of déjà vu was Spirit preparing them for you. Your voice was the final confirmation, the moment heaven whispered, "This is the one." Divine Feminine, I just pulled judgment for this message. The Spirit is saying this is the awakening your connection has been leading toward all along. The judgment card appears when the soul remembers, when something ancient, sacred, and undeniable rises to the surface and refuses to stay hidden any longer. Spirit is saying this masculine doesn't just remember you with their heart, their entire being recognizes you. Their body, their energy, their spirit, all of it reacts to your presence in ways they can't explain. The first time they met you, something inside of them woke up. It wasn't attraction in the usual sense. It was remembrance. Their soul said, "There you are." And from that moment, no matter how hard they tried to stay detached, they couldn't. Their heart, their intuition, even their body knew that what they were feeling was something they'd known before, something that had existed beyond time. Spirit says this is why your connection feels both magnetic and overwhelming. The energy between you carries history, past life memory, divine purpose, and karmic alignment. You might have noticed that your person reacts to you in very physical ways. They become more alert, more alive, more emotional, sometimes even restless. Because your energy doesn't just speak to their heart, it speaks to their soul memory. Their body recognizes your voice, your laugh, your presence, as if it's been waiting for them across lifetimes. This is what judgment represents, a spiritual awakening so powerful that it shakes you from the inside out. But Spirit also wants you to know this awakening hasn't been easy for them. Remembering you has stirred emotions they didn't know how to handle. They've been trying to understand why every part of their being responds to you so strongly, why they dream of you, feel you, and sense you even when you're apart. It's because this isn't a new connection, divine feminine. It's a return. And while you may be cautious, protecting your energy, they've already surrendered to the knowing. They've accepted that no matter how mysterious you seem, they see straight through you, not because they're trying to invade your space, but because on a soul level, they've known you before. Judgment also speaks to truth being revealed, and that's where this energy is heading. Spirit says this masculine is reaching a point where silence is no longer enough. They've gathered signs, confirmations, and spiritual downloads about you, and now it's time for revelation. They want to speak. They want to explain everything they've felt from the very beginning, every moment that confirmed their knowing, every sign that pointed them back to you. They know that once this truth is spoken, the dynamic between you will shift completely, but they're ready for that. They've seen enough to know this connection is divine, and keeping it hidden would only delay what's meant to unfold. So, divine feminine, if you've been feeling that pull lately, the heart racing, the ringing in your ears, the sudden bursts of emotion, Spirit says it's because your souls are sinking again. The veil between you is thinning. This is the sacred moment before the confession, before the truth finally finds its voice. Judgment reminds you that what's destined cannot be undone. The call has been made, the souls have remembered, and the reunion is already in motion. Okay, this feels like a beautiful place to close the reading. What we've seen here is a reminder that your energy is powerful, your journey is guided, and Spirit is always working in ways you may not fully see yet. Trust that what is meant for you will always find its way, and you don't need to chase. Just allow yourself to stay aligned and open. If you feel called to dive deeper, the exclusive and extended version of our readings are available right now on Patreon and through YouTube memberships. That's where we really expand on these messages and explore the layers that Spirit couldn't fit into this space. Also, don't forget to check out the community posts and today's energy reading updates. I love connecting with you there and hearing how these messages meet you in your own journey. Drop your comments below, share your personal requests, and let me know how this reading spoke to you. And if you'd like to keep the energy flowing, I've linked some other videos here that I know will guide and encourage you. I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now.